Right now, we're headed off to Wadi Rum, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is a spectacular desert valley located in the southern part of Jordan, and it is known for its breathtaking natural beauty. The place looks like it's from another planet. The red hue of the sand gives it this almost Mars-like look, which is why it was used as a filming location for some very big movies, such as Star Wars, The Martian, and many others. As you can see, the mountains here are these colossal rock formations sticking out of the ground, while everything around them is as flat as a pancake. We will be stopping on several of them to climb them for some great views of the horizon. After a short drive, our tour guide dropped us off at the first stop, which was a sandy mountain. He said that we have a break here and that we can go climb it if we want to. So we went for the hike, but I would like to warn you that climbing it was quite hard, because of all the sand which drags you down with every step you take. Nonetheless, we managed to reach the top, and it was totally worth it. The view from the top was absolutely stunning. Everything seemed so small and far away. By the looks of it, there were some goats off in the distance, maybe used by the locals for food. The goats were scavenging for any little grass they saw. After a few minutes of rest, we had to go back to the pickup truck to continue our tour. Going down was a lot easier than going up. Some of the tourists were even running down the hill. Then we headed off to our next location, which was a canyon located between two rock formations. It was fascinating to see that there were even some climbers there, going up on the side of one of the mountains. There are shacks next to most of the locations, from where you can buy souvenirs or sit for a rest in the shades. We took a quick look around one of the shacks, then decided to go to the canyon. The canyon itself is called Alkazali. Its inner walls are covered with Talmudic, Nabatean, and Islamic inscriptions, as well as petroglyphs depicting humans and animals. We went inside the canyon, but we had to be careful, as it was quite narrow and there were plenty of other tourists also checking it out. Our tour guide explained that during raining seasons, due to the large amounts of rain, these canyons and rock formations become incredibly beautiful waterfalls. We would love to come back someday and visit it again to see that. As you can see, there are still some puddles left, as it is quite shady inside. When continuing down the canyon, there is something like a dead end that people stop at and wait in line for a picture of themselves. And, as one should, I also went and took a picture of myself standing sideways. After that, we went back to the truck and we were on our way to the next location. During the drive, we noticed that there were some tents in the distance. You are able to rent there if you want to stay overnight. If we had known that was an option, we might have also stayed an extra day. The next location was another scenic rock formation that you can climb onto for a cool picture. It's pretty funny how simple we people are. We see a rock and we want to climb it. Then we go to another rock and we also want to climb that one. Just because we can. The break here was shorter as the rock formation was smaller, and we quickly headed off to the next mountain to climb. But this one was a bit larger, with several layers to the climb. On the first part of the climb there was something we weren't expecting to see. Hundreds of thousands of little rock stacks, most likely made by previously visiting tourists. It was a pretty cool thing to see, as it is not something you come across in your day-to-day life. After passing them, we continued our climb, but let me tell you, climbing with a camera in one hand is not that easy. At the top, there was another great view of the surrounding mountains. Once we were rested, we continued on our tour to the next location. It was a rock that looked like something from a cartoon. Like something Wale Coyote would use to try and catch the Roadrunner. As we were getting tired from all the climbing, we decided to rest in one of the souvenir shacks there. They were offering local coffee for 2 Jordanian dinars, so we bought some to energize ourselves. Off into the distance you could see an interesting arch on one of the mountains. We asked our tour guide about it, and he said that going there is also possible, but it would be a 2-hour climb and we didn't have that much time. The next stop was a valley between the mountains, which you could take a leisure stroll through. Naturally, when going through the valley, we saw a rock, and you guessed it, we had to climb it. Then we had a lunch break that was included in our tour. Our guide took us to a nice shade as it was getting quite hot at the time, and while we were resting, he cooked us some local food which included hummus, cooked tomatoes, goat cheese and Arab bread. After that, our tour guide dropped us off at another valley, and told us to walk through the whole valley, which was a 30-minute walk, and that he would be waiting for us on the other side. It seems like the cool rocks for climbing were finished. It was time for going on walks through valleys. While going through the valley, we noticed there were some rocks fallen that had blocked the passage, so we had to climb over them. It was quite a narrow climb and we had to go one by one, so there was a queue that had formed by the other tourists. And yet again, I had to climb it with one hand only, due to holding the camera with the other one. After that, we could see the end point of the canyon, which felt like seeing the light at the end of a long tunnel. When we came out the canyon, we saw all the other pickup trucks there, and we had to go and find our tour guide. On the side there were some sand dunes which people were using to sandboard. It is like snowboarding but on sand. When we found our tour guide, he informed us that we can also partake in sandboarding if we want to, and it was free of charge. Some of us decided to do it, as it seemed like a lot of fun, but climbing the sand itself was extremely tiring. We had never snowboarded or sandboarded before, so we just sat down on the board and used it like a sled. When the sun started setting, our tour guide took us to a nice flat place and stopped there so that we can sit down for some tea and enjoy the view. It was really beautiful seeing the sunset in the horizon. After the sun had set, we went to one of the tents where we had a dinner reservation. We enjoyed a quick meal that was chicken with potatoes and a salad, and we had to go catch our flight, as our adventure is coming to an end. Feel free to check out our previous videos for the days we visit Petra, the Dead Sea and Aqaba. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this series. Please let us know where we should go next in the comments down below.